with you wherever you find yourself scattered today, and that you know that his presence with you is more than enough for whatever you might face today. I am happy to be back home. We had a good 4 weeks on the road, celebrating Rebecca and Josh and their wedding and spending time with Vonda's family back in Michigan, but it is good to be home. Still working through the Psalms. This morning I'm on Psalm 25 and been chewing on those first 5 verses in particular. So let me go ahead and share those with you. Psalm 25, verses 1 through 5. In you, O Lord my God, I put my trust. I trust in you. Do not let me be put to shame, nor let my enemies triumph over me. No one who hopes in you will ever be put to shame. The shame will come on those who are treacherous without cause. Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. I've just been thinking about this in terms of trusting in the Lord, hoping in the Lord, shame, and then teach me your ways, guide me in your paths. I think a lot of times we can experience shame from people because we are trying to walk in the paths of the Lord. It might be a work situation and we're not cutting corners while everyone else is cutting corners. And so we might be mocked, we might be shamed because we're doing the job right instead of taking shortcuts and doing less of a job like everyone else. And so we might be shamed by them. It might be a party or some after work gathering, neighborhood gathering, and we're not drinking, we're not engaging in kind of crude behavior or jokes, and we get shamed for it. Like we're too good for everybody else. And so we get mocked or ridiculed because we're trying to walk in the ways of the Lord. I'm sure you can think of other ways where shaming occurs. Really, we can find ways to shame each other, and we can experience shame on any number of things. And yet here's a psalmist saying that I place my trust in you, O Lord, and my hope is in you. And I know that so long as my hope is in you and I'm walking in your ways, that I will not be shamed, that those who hope in the Lord are never shamed. I think we have to look at this in kind of an ultimate context, that ultimately those who hope in the Lord, those who walk in the ways of the Lord, while they might experience ridicule now and shame now, that ultimately they will experience honor from God, honor for doing right, honor for walking and living faithfully to the Lord and practicing his ways. And so the challenge is to not exchange kind of an avoidance of short-term no shaming for that long-term being honored by God. Not sure if I said that right. Sometimes we can compromise walking in the ways of the Lord in order to avoid shame now, whether that be at work, whether that be at a party, whether that be wherever. And so we'll practice things that really aren't of the Lord in order to avoid shame when that's just temporary. That ultimately, if we walk in the ways of the Lord and we endure shame, then ultimately we'll actually be honored. That the final word will not be shame, the final word will be honor. And so the psalmist reminds us, the psalmist kind of calls us, as the psalmist is praying this out to the Lord, the psalmist is calling us to walk in the ways of the Lord now, recognizing that if we do that, that at the end, we will never be shamed, but we will actually experience honor. I think especially of Jesus. He endured the shame of the cross. Okay, but why? Well, he was walking in faithfulness to the Father. And ultimately, he was exalted, he was vindicated, he was resurrected, and now sits at the right hand of the Father. And so Jesus is our model here. And because Jesus did it, he makes a way for us to do it. He's interceding for us at the right hand of the Father, that we would walk in his ways as he leads us in faithfulness, as he leads us in truthfulness. As we walk in his ways, we can have the assurance that those who hope in the Lord, those who trust in the Lord, will not ultimately be put to shame. They will be honored by God and exalted. So wherever you find yourself scattered today, don't know what shame you might be enduring because of your walk with the Lord, but be encouraged. Ultimately, you will be honored, and everyone will recognize that you weren't foolish, you were faithful, and God honors the faithful. God bless, and have a faithful day.